Feeling sorry for people born with disabilities is a basic human instinct. It's compassion at its purest. But every once in a while, someone like Cyraxx crawls out of the shadows and single-handedly dismantles that instinct.
Hey, Burger Boy, how'd you like a hammer pointed in your skull next? Why can't you guys leave my family alone? Why can't you stop targeting me? Why? This ain't funny, Burger Boy, so shut up.
Where was this energy
This
last
ain't
night?
a joke, you fat.
Where was this energy last
Why
night?
can't you stop targeting my family? Leave us alone now!
From interacting with minors inappropriately online and then brushing it off by raging against the person who caught him red-handed, to strangling his own grandmother because she refused to let him walk 1,000 miles just to see an online girlfriend, someone he doesn't even know is real, Cyraxx is the most disturbing and deranged person the internet has ever seen.
What did he do? Did he try strangling you?
Yeah, he tried to strangle me. And my other son that passed away, he called the cops.
Yeah.
I didn't press charge. I mean, I'm not the one that pressed charges, but they had to take him. So
One of the things Cyraxx is most infamously known for, aside from being a walking internet meltdown, is his so-called music career. For over 15 years, this guy has convinced himself he's just one track away from blowing up and becoming the next revolutionary rapper. But let's be real. This isn't ambition, it's straight up delusion.
What's happening? Call a taxi, bring the book, bring the facts again. Since anybody's fancy man, look to the east side where half the ends. I'll put the on the map again. Like, turn around, remember, here's the seven die. Turn it anytime, so never mind. Turn down, hero, count, tell me what the legendary flow with their name, that's forever mine. Turn it for me, turn it come for me. Turn it the company, I'm good. Turn it to the better, put the hands up.
You know, every day I get told by a lot of people who enjoy my work, you know, you deserve to be signed. Your music is very good. Your melodic scream vocals are that of the legendary and the late Mitch Walker from Suicide Silence. And, you know, that type of stuff, it means the world to me. They see, as you guys...
Not only does he lack talent, effort, and even basic rhythm, but instead of actually trying to create anything, Cyraxx just steals from others. And one of the earliest people to get burned by him was a guy named Eric Scrubolo, someone who, believe it or not, actually felt bad for Cyraxx because of his disability.
Eric tried to help him out. Big mistake.
Cyraxx turned around and stole 10 of Eric's unreleased songs, ripped off his style, and to top it all off, jacked the name Cyraxx straight from one of Eric's upcoming singles. That's right. He didn't even come up with his cringe username. He stole that too.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. He stole like 10 of my songs.
Jesus Christ. He just steals everything, right?
Yeah. And to be honest with you, in the beginning, I felt bad for the guy. And, you know, I had a little clout, and he was trying to be a DJ, and I'm like, okay, man, well, I mean, I kind of feel bad for you. Of course, you've got some problems, and let's see what we can do.
Yeah, I mean, I find it rather remarkable that somebody with his conditions can evoke such hatred, you know?
Yeah, I don't, that's what I don't understand, and it's not towards just, you know, a stranger.
Mm-hmm.
The hatred is toward the people that try to help him. If you listen to my songs, you hear me shout out to Blade.
Yeah, he goes by Cyraxx now.
Yeah, that was stolen from me.
Wow, so you started going by Cyraxx and then he just stole the Cyraxx name from you?
I was going to release an album called the Cyraxx Complex.
Holy.
He used to go by Virus, which was also stolen from me.
But that's nothing compared to what came next. Back in high school, Cyraxx had a close friend named Billy, someone who actually trusted him, but that trust was shattered in the worst possible way. Cyraxx actually assaulted Billy, and this would end up leaving the school no choice but to expel him on the spot. And here's the part that makes your blood boil. Billy was blind. Let that sink in.
I was either on my belly on the floor, or I think I was searching for something, and the next thing I know, my pants and underwear come off, or at least down to the ankles, and he basically gets behind me and just starts...
But does Cyraxx feel guilt? Remorse? Hell no. Years later, he brought up the incident on stream, not with shame, but with the twisted arrogance of someone who thinks he was the one wronged. The absolute lack of accountability is insane. But if you thought this is deranged enough, buckle up, because everything I told you so far is just the tip of the iceberg.
Cyraxx was born on September 20th, 1990, to Rupel Marx and Connie Lobdell, a pairing that, whether by a coincidence or pure misfortune, should have never had a child. His mother, Connie, suffered from multiple disabilities and had a chronic alcohol addiction, which reportedly continued during her pregnancy. That alone likely contributed to Cyraxx's lifelong health complications, and it gets worse. According to Rupel himself, it took Connie 3 full years to learn how to drive. An oddly long time, possibly due to severe ADHD combined with other cognitive issues.
Cyraxx's father wasn't any better, arguably worse. At least Connie's problems stemmed from medical and biological conditions. Rupel's dysfunction, on the other hand, was deeply behavioral, and that became clear when people started digging into his past and discovered that Rupel is a convicted offender. What's even more surprising about this whole mess is the way he got caught. After she got assaulted by Rupel, this 14-year-old girl went to the police and gave a detailed description of her attacker, and a police sketch artist produced several drawings. Out of all of them, she pointed to one that looked exactly like Rupel. That sketch was later published in a local newspaper, and when 2 of Rupel's friends saw it, they immediately recognized the resemblance and informed him because, frankly, it looked just like him.
That's when Rupel did the dumbest thing you could possibly do in that situation. He called the police himself and said, "I'm not the persons in the sketch." Obviously, this only drew more attention to him and led to his arrest. Eventually, Rupel was sentenced to 20 years in prison.
But even after serving his time and getting out, the creepy behavior didn't stop. If anything, it escalated. In 2020, Rupel was caught posting disturbing and unsettling images on Pinterest, once again confirming that prison didn't reform him, it just made him weirder.
It just seems like odd because it was strictly pictures of kids, like boys in dresses, and saying that they're easy to convince. Okay, like I'm gonna show one of these here, and I don't know if this is gonna get my stream taken down. Very well might, but here, wrong. Okay, feminized soccer boys are easy to convince. Like, what drew you to this picture?
So it's not so difficult to see that this person is a pedo. But shockingly enough, his father, Cyraxx's grandfather, was no better of a person than this. Rupel's father married his wife, Sally, Cyraxx's grandmother, when she was only 14 years old, despite being significantly older than her at the time. It was a disturbing start to a family tree already rooted in dysfunction.
When Rupel was sent to prison, Cyraxx was just 4 years old. His mother, Connie, was in no condition to care for a child, physically, mentally, or emotionally. That's when his grandmother, Sally, stepped in and legally adopted him. She changed his name from Patrick Smith to Chance Wilkins, hoping it would mark a fresh start, a symbolic second chance at life. The new last name, Wilkins, came from the man Sally was married to at the time.
Cyraxx was only 5 when his life started spiraling, and from that point on, chaos became the norm. On top of the early trauma, his unusual physical appearance made things even harder. According to Cyraxx himself, he had no friends, was relentlessly bullied, and spent his school years isolated, an outcast from day one.
But here's where the narrative takes a turn.
It turns out many of Cyraxx's bullying stories weren't exactly true. In fact, he wasn't necessarily singled out by bullies the way he claimed, nor was he as isolated as he liked to portray. A lot of the stories he told were flat-out lies, including one dramatic tale where he claimed a group of students pushed him off a balcony, causing severe head injuries.
But according to his own aunt, who spoke publicly on a YouTube channel, that story was a fabrication. She revealed that Cyraxx actually jumped off the balcony himself during a reckless dare game he willingly participated in.
It
was lunchtime, and these kids dared him that he couldn't jump something from the balcony.
The backflip, the backflip. Okay, hold on. I had a question about this. After certain head injuries, like, people fucking have dramatic personality changes at times. Do you feel like after the fucking head injury, like...
What head injury? He didn't hit his head.
He smacked his head off he was like on the second floor when he did the backflip. It was like off the second floor.
He didn't hit his head. He landed on his side and broke his arm.
Cyraxx took the lie even further when he reported the balcony incident to the police, spinning the story with his twisted narrative. But once investigators uncovered the truth, that it was nothing more than a reckless dare he willingly accepted, they weren't just annoyed, they were furious. As a result, Cyraxx was expelled from school, not for being a victim, but for wasting time and manipulating the system.
And this wasn't the only time his self-proclaimed victimhood completely fell apart.
One person who claimed to have gone to school with Cyraxx came forward to expose the truth. She stated that Cyraxx wasn't some isolated outcast like he often claimed. In fact, he had friends, and one of them was a blind, black American student named Billy. Cyraxx himself once described Billy as his closest friend. They even hung out at each other's houses on some nights.
But here's the twist. Despite once calling Billy a good friend, Cyraxx would later flip the script and accuse Billy of horrifically abusing him.
Yeah, like, unfortunately, when I was 16 to 17 years old, around that time period, I was actually raped by one of my best friends from high school. Now, at the time, I didn't know that he was gay. I had actually met this kid. His name was Billy Seiler. We had gone to the same high school together. And me and him grew really, really close. We were super cool with each other. And at first, like, I didn't take him as gay. Like, I just took him as, being, that weird kid in high school that's just, like, really strange and, like, an oddball kind of person. Like, that was him. And, like, I took it at that. I was like, yo, like, like, he was really cool. He was super chill. He was actually the guy that actually introduced me to Linkin Park, ironically. He had gotten me into their music. So, like, I started listening to them. And there was one day where he came over to my house and, like, we were hanging out or whatever. And, like, during that time, like, he just kind of, like, put his arm around me, kind of like what Jake does to me all the time. Like, he kind of gave me a hug like that. And, like, during that time, like, the way he did it made me suspect that he was, but I wasn't entirely sure. So I was like, okay, whatever, but okay, it is what it is.
On the surface, it's heartbreaking to hear that someone with a disability like Cyraxx was assaulted by a close friend. But as with many of Cyraxx's claims, the more he talked about it, the more the story began to unravel. He brought up the alleged abuse multiple times across his videos, yet the details kept shifting, to the point of outright contradiction.
According to Cyraxx, he was just 16 years old when the incident happened, and claimed he switched schools shortly after. But in another video, he insisted that he had only ever changed schools once, in 2009, which would have made him 19 at the time. The timeline didn't add up.
And funnily enough, Cyraxx would later slip and admit that he was actually much older than Billy when the alleged abuse occurred. That one confession alone flipped the entire narrative on its head, casting even more doubt on a story that was already falling apart.
Are you not so pissed, though, at that school?
Oh,
Like, I think it's insane. You should have never been expelled.
We tried, and that's the thing. That's the thing. We tried to fight it, but due to the fact that he was underage, and I was over
Oh my god, dude. I don't understand that. That's fucking...
Even worse, Cyraxx's version of events, that the school kicked him out while he was the innocent victim and did nothing to Billy, just didn't add up for a lot of people. The inconsistencies were glaring, and eventually it pushed some viewers to do their own digging. Curious to hear the other side, people started reaching out to Billy via Facebook.
And what Billy had to say painted a completely different and far more disturbing picture.
According to Billy, back when they were in high school, Cyraxx came over to his house during the summer. It was late, hot, and casual. So Billy, like many people would, took his shirt off to cool down. What happened next, according to Billy, was completely unexpected and horrifying. Cyraxx made a advance on him without any consent.
And he seemed to have enjoyed that, because when I was about ready to, he had said something along the lines of, "Oh yeah, I can hear it."
After this voice message was posted, it came to light that Cyraxx was no different from his father and grandfather, both of whom were offenders, which is the reason he is called by many as a third-generation rapist. Although all this shenanigans with Billy came to light later on after Cyraxx became infamous, which was around 2019. The action itself happened around 2006 or 2007, and 3 years later in 2009, Cyraxx marked his first appearance on the internet when he created his very first YouTube channel called DJ Shadowblayde Official Music. For some reason, Cyraxx seems to have special interest in music, even during this time. While this by itself is not a problem, his delusion of being the next groundbreaking artist while he has zero talent and puts no effort at all certainly is, and the videos he was uploading on this channel was a proof to this.
Up to this point, Cyraxx hadn't posted anything outright offensive, just a bunch of cringeworthy videos that drew in a few trolls. Ironically, that attention worked in his favor, even if most of his viewers were there to mock him, not support him. Like that one time he uploaded a clip of himself screaming like he was half a second away from dying, and pure internet fuel.
If you're wondering what that scream was all about, Cyraxx was trying to break the world record for the longest scream, hoping it would put him on the map. But like most of his stunts, it flopped. Still, his biggest failure wasn't the scream, it was his music career. Despite repeatedly deleting and recreating YouTube channels only to abandon them months later due to relentless trolling, Cyraxx never stopped sharing pieces of his life on Facebook, which he'd been using since 2008. And in 2011, he posted a story that revealed a surprisingly humble glimpse into his early hopes of making it as a musician, and the quiet collapse of that dream.
My name is Chance Wilkins. I am 21 years old, with my mom working 2 days a week waiting tables in a little restaurant, and it still not being enough to fully get by on bills, and me going through many hardships in my life. I decided to do something to help all that, so decided to get into music, and many people have judged me because I auto-tune my real voice to make it sound better. But I don't care. I still keep going, and I always will. I don't ask for much. I just ask for my dream to come true so I can help my family.
The person Cyraxx calls his mom is obviously his grandmother, Sally. He'd been living with her since he was 5. At first glance, the post above reads like a letter from a well-meaning boy trying his best to support his struggling family. But that illusion didn't last long, because just 4 months later, Cyraxx would do something shockingly cruel to the very woman who raised him.
On February 14th, 2012, Cyraxx was arrested for strangling his grandmother. While the details of that day remain murky, many believe the incident started when Sally refused to drive him to Kansas to meet a girl he had been e-dating, conveniently on Valentine's Day. Ironically, that girl was most likely a fake persona created by trolls, something that had happened to Cyraxx multiple times. He was gullible enough to fall for these traps, and had even sent photos to some of them.
After Sally refused to drive him, Cyraxx began packing his clothes, claiming he'd walked to Kansas himself, a journey of over 1,000 miles from Akron, Ohio. Sally, in response, tried to stop him by taking his clothes away, which triggered Cyraxx into a violent rage, ultimately leading him to attack her. Despite being physically assaulted, Sally chose not to press charges or let him stay in jail. So Cyraxx faced no real consequences, not even a single day behind bars.
Beyond that, 2012 and 2013 were the years Cyraxx was obsessively hustling as a so-called music artist, boasting that he was one step away from being the greatest musician of all time. That delusion remains one of the key reasons why now, at 35 years old, he's still unemployed and living off his grandmother's savings.
Seeing from his old LinkedIn account from 2009, Cyraxx claims to be part of a Juggalo record label called Killa Clown Sones.
He even went too far into saying this. I did a lot of DJ work as well as produced my own music and created artwork in graffiti form.
Which is nothing but pure delusion. He's done nothing of real significance beyond posting cringe videos and attracting trolls. While Cyraxx constantly claimed to be a musician, some of his old posts reveal that he gave himself a variety of self-appointed titles, like the time he proudly declared himself an abstract artist and painter working at C. Wilkins Art, a made-up company he invented for himself.
Even more ridiculous when he posted this on Facebook. Started new job at retired military family member at Lacey, Washington, which referred to the man he adopted his last name from, Gordon Wilkins, who was Sally's husband at the time Cyraxx first moved to Sally's house.
Despite these random moments around 2012, Cyraxx has already joined the Juggalo community and claims to be an active member. But when it comes to his so-called music career, he still lives in a universe entirely detached from reality.
I also want to give a huge thank you to my amazing fan base, which is all my friends and a few others. I love you guys to death. You guys really do make it worth it.
In one delusional stream, he starts name-dropping random underground artists like they're Grammy winners and calls them brothers and close friends, working with him on big things.
Like my best friend and brother, Vinny Sharma, his band Sharmera, who honestly I would highly suggest if you're into like the rock music and stuff like that. I will post a link to a couple videos that I made, actually all 3 links to the videos that I made for his 3 songs, for all 3 of his songs and stuff. They're gonna be down below in the little comment section, well, just above that. But another one that I'm actually working with right now, who is a dear friend of me, his name is Christian Lee, aka Cousin Kit. He has a band out called Signal Fist. That's SIGNAL Fist. I will also post the link to his website for his band, who was greatly created by my best friend and little brother Cody Kerslip, who, on a side note, could really use a lot of prayers.
He just name drops at people to make himself look relevant, acting like he's in the middle of some revolutionary collaboration. But behind the fake humility and made-up collabs, he still somehow finds time to whine about how unfair the Juggalo community is. In one video from 2012, he complains that the rules in the scene are too hard, like there's a secret gatekeeping conspiracy just to keep him out.
But anyways, there's another thing that I want to touch base on that I've noticed going around Facebook and around YouTube a lot, and that is these new supposed rules on being a juggalo or juggalette. I honestly am just so disappointed in all these new kids thinking that they can just go in and make up whatever rules they want. It really does disappoint me, because I've been in the family for a little over 7 years, close to 10. But these new rules are, you supposedly have to be jumped in and all this other crap. And I'm here to say, you know, that's not true. You don't have to be jumped in, because we're not a gang, we're a family. Yeah, we paint up our faces, but you know.
Meanwhile, real juggalos who've actually been in the game called him out publicly, asking him basic questions that any real fan should know. And he failed hard. Dude claims to be a die-hard juggalo, but couldn't name even the most iconic tracks or core history.
Yeah, so I was just curious, what was your first album that you got into the clowns?
Believe it or not, dude, it was probably, I'm trying to think. I want to say either Jekyll Brothers or Riddlebox. I can't remember which one it was that got me in.
So what did the cover look like?
Really, dude? Do you know how many years it's been since I've listened to that shit?
Even worse, Cyraxx took things to a new low during the same livestream. He went on a tirade against the entire Juggalo community, hurling racial slurs and crossing every imaginable line. The backlash was instant and brutal. People were furious. None more so than a guy named John Juggalo, who was so pissed he actually drove to Cyraxx's house ready to throw down. But when it came down to it, the fight never happened. Maybe John realized there's no dignity in beating up someone who's already at rock bottom, which gave Cyraxx the opportunity to continue with his usual rant.
So, John, I'm down here by the community center where LeBron James first got to start right there, boy. You're talking about showing your ass up. Here I am ready for your ass. Your punk ass ain't show up, you coward. Where you at?
You said there was police lights where you were at? There's no police here at all.
I'm right here, boy.
There's no police here at all whatsoever.
You a fake ass, you a coward, you're a liar. You ain't no fighter, you're a
There's no cops here. So there you go. Bye.
And then there's the music itself, which is generous to even call it that. screeching over broken beats, awkward pauses, and off-tempo flows. It's the kind of thing that would get booed off the stage at a middle school talent show. One of his songs, from start to finish remastered, is basically just him screaming into the mic while some bizarre loop plays in the background.
Even funnier, he once tried to sell beats for just $1 each. Yeah, $1. It would be sad if it weren't so hilarious. His trolls bought them just to mock him, and when people called out how desperate it looked, Cyraxx tried to spin it as some noble stand against greedy producers. According to him, he was spilling the tea on industry corruption by practically giving away his so-called masterpieces. Masterpieces! Only if you've completely lost touch with reality.
A lot of producers now hate me because today I spilled the truth about how to make real money and basically expose every producer out there overcharging for $50+ for one beat. And I went into detail on how they can start turning what they love to do into a full-time career, you know, using the method of charging way less and putting all their beats into a pack and selling them for $10.
But in a classic Cyraxx moment of misplaced confidence, he put his so-called beats up for sale, posting,
"I am selling 10 beats, 10 tracks for $10 via PayPal. If you are interested, please message me."
Unsurprisingly, no one messaged him. Not a single person. The crushing silence hit him hard, and it didn't take long before he spiraled into despair and declared the end of his music career.
"I hate to say this, but my work as a music artist is done. I know I am gonna upset and piss a lot of you off, but the music world is not where I belong anymore. I don't have the talent I used to have. As of this moment, I am done with music for good."
It's genuinely flabbergasting how Cyraxx still clings to the delusion that he has a loyal fan base. The way he capitalized a lot shows just how deep that fantasy runs, imagining droves of heartbroken fans when, in reality, no one even wanted his $1 beats.
And just when you think the internet's finally safe from his noise, boom. In true Cyraxx fashion, barely 2 weeks after his dramatic retirement, he posts again saying he's considering remaking his first album, because of course he is.
And this fantasy world of his doesn't stop at music. In another bizarre rant, Cyraxx gave his fan base stock investment advice. Yes, really. This is a guy who once said that selling 38 CDs for $10 each and 15 digital art pieces for $20 each would make him $8,300. That's not a typo. He said it proudly, like it was a genius move. Math clearly isn't his strong suit, but delusion, that's where he's a certified expert.
You buy stocks low and you sell them high, man.
Cyraxx doesn't just lie about having fans, he lies about having record deals. Over the years, he's repeatedly claimed he's signed to big record labels and working under industry contracts, but none of them exist. Like literally, not even on paper. These aren't sure daddy underground indie labels you've never heard of. They're figments of his imagination, and some of them that are real have never contacted him.
You wanna know why? Because I rep BBR to the death of me. And every label that I've rocked over the years. Killer Clown Sounds on this song. Bloodshot Records right here. And right on the back, boys, mother Bender Boys Records. Echo Side Entertainment on this song. You wanna know why? I rep all those labels that got me to where I am. Whether it's Killer Clown Sounds, whether it's Bloodshot Records, whether it's Echo Side Entertainment, or whether it's my current label, Bender Boys Entertainment. Those labels and those day ones are the guys that got me to where I'm at. So to the real fans, y'all killed it. And to the Bender Boys, I wanna say thank you, man. You wanna know why? Because I got an opportunity to change my kids' lives.
And yet, in the same breath, he'll whine that record labels won't sign him because he's ugly or disabled.
I come to you today to explain, why I'm not signed to a record label and why I'm not, making it within the music and as well as how I came to be in music. Well, let me start off by telling you a little bit about myself so you guys have a better understanding. First off, I was born in Anchorage, Alaska, 1990. When I was born with one kidney and one and a half lung, and I was also born 1 pound 12 ounces. Was not supposed to live, and yet here I sit 27 years later talking to you guys.
That excuse might fly if there weren't thousands of disabled artists, many in far worse situations, who still hustle, make real music, and build legit careers. Cyraxx isn't overlooked because of how he looks. He's ignored because he has zero talent, no discipline, and spends more time screaming into a webcam than creating anything remotely listenable.
But he doesn't stop there. He swears up and down that people call him a legend. He says he has so many dedicated fans.
You know, every day I get told by a lot of people who enjoy my work, you know, you deserve to be signed. Your music is very good. Your melodic scream vocals are that of the legendary and the late Mitchell Walker from Cyraxx Silence. And, you know, that type of stuff, it means the world to me. They see, as you guys...
He's like a circus act who thinks the crowd came to see a masterpiece. It's the same 5 trolls clipping his meltdowns and baiting him into saying stupid stuff. And yet, he talks like he's a hometown hero with a platinum album.
As for his constant whining about not having a job because of his condition,
Just saw, I don't have any money. I don't have a job because I can't work. I don't have a computer. But yeah, I still keep trucking on every day and producing music as best as I can via Kindle Fire.
Yeah, that might be believable if he wasn't also spending hours a day live streaming, picking fights, and talking nonsense on Facebook. This isn't someone who can't work. This is someone who won't work. And honestly, when you see people with more severe challenges out there making it happen, Cyraxx's sob story starts to look like what it really is, a cope, an excuse for being lazy, entitled, and totally out of touch with reality.
what makes Cyraxx's self-image even more laughable is that he has the nerve to criticize other musicians. In one of his streams, he rants about how he doesn't respect new artists because they all think they're the next biggest rapper.
Kind of aimed at, a lot of these new school rappers and artists and producers that they don't, like the ones I have no respect for. Like, don't get me wrong, I do respect a lot of y'all, man. Like my boy Ian, Eric Scrublow, like the guys that I work with, I respect 110%. My buddy Michael Mitchell, I have a lot of respect for him. But it's a lot of these young bloods that are coming up in the music scene that I don't have respect for. And there's a reason for that. A lot of these young cats, especially a lot of y'all coming up, y'all think that you guys are gonna be like the next, Drake or the next Lil Wayne or this or that and blah, blah, blah. Like, and this is where I have the issue. Why try to be the next, Lil Wayne or Drake or whatever? Like, why not be the first you?
According to him, they should just be themselves, which would be decent advice if it wasn't coming from a guy who's spent the last 15 years pretending he's one step away from becoming the greatest generational talent to ever grace the earth.
Cyraxx genuinely believes his beats are the best in the game, and not because of originality, effort, or complexity. Nope. He says they're good because they're simplistic. He goes on to claim that modern producers are ruining music by making beats too complex, calling it unnecessary and unlistenable. Translation: he can't actually produce anything layered or sonically impressive, so he just pretends minimalism is a virtue. Then, without even blinking, he declares that he and a few of his friends are the only real producers left on the planet. That's not confidence, that's full-blown delusion.
I want to tell you something. I'm one of the few artists left in the world that knows how to truly make, good combinations of music that shouldn't sound good together. And there's very few of us left in this world. Because a lot of y'all don't do like I do. A lot of you guys don't do the simple but good sounding instrumentals anymore. Y'all want this super syllabalistic, intricate. And yet none of y'all want to work your basics. Like, none of y'all young artists out there, aside from the ones that I mentioned that I'm cool with, want to work your basics. Y'all want to have this super heavy, crack-ridden trap beat that it doesn't make sense.
And the worst part? Even the beats he does post aren't his. Cyraxx is a known content thief. One glaring example is when he stole a beat from Zentric Beats, a legit German producer. Cyraxx took one of Zentric's instrumentals, slapped his own vocals on it, and put it up for sale like he made the whole thing from scratch. He didn't buy a license, didn't credit the source properly, didn't follow any of the standard rules for fair use.
And what did he respond when he got called out? He actually had the audacity to claim he was doing a favor. He said that putting Zentric's name on the album was free advertising, and that Zentric should be grateful. Even worse, he insisted that because the beat was uploaded to YouTube, he now owned it. Like uploading something publicly automatically makes it his property.
If you did not want anyone to use the beat, you should have
you should have put in there not for use, or just simply taken it down. That way nobody can use it. Now, what you don't realize, dude, is there's artists every day that use free instrumentals, whether they're sold or not. See, when you put free on an instrumental, that allows us to use the instrumentals.
But this isn't the only time Cyraxx blatantly stole someone else's work. In fact, there are several. One of the most messed up stories involves an underground artist named Eric Scrubolo, a guy who actually had experience, was already working with a real record label, and had been putting in the time for years. Around 2012 or 2013, Eric came across Chance, and despite the glaring red flags, felt sympathy for him. He saw a struggling guy with a disability who clearly wanted to break into music, so he extended a hand to help. Not only did Cyraxx have zero talent or professionalism to offer, he ended up stealing nearly 10 of Eric's unreleased tracks, straight up jacked them. And as if that wasn't enough, Chance also stole his entire name. The name Cyraxx, which Eric was planning to use as part of his upcoming music project, got hijacked by Chance without a second thought. The same name that's now infamous across the internet started off as someone else's creative property.
Yeah. I don't know, man. He stole like 10 of my songs.
Jesus Christ. He just steals everything, right?
Yeah.
The betrayal was devastating. Imagine trying to lift someone up only to have them rip you off and then parade around like they're the mastermind behind it all. But Cyraxx wasn't done yet. In another act of sheer arrogance, he filmed himself throwing the record label's dog tags into a lake, dramatically claiming he didn't need them anymore and that he was going to make it on his own. You'd think this was a teenager going through an edgy phase, not a grown man who hadn't even dropped a halfway decent track.
And then came the apology. After reality hit and he realized he wasn't nearly as talented as he thought, Cyraxx tried crawling back. He filmed a cringe-filled video where he and his girlfriend tried to clear the air. But instead of sounding genuine, the whole thing played out like a bad soap opera.
When we did the whole thing with the dog tags, it's because we were pissed off. We didn't know what the hell to do. We were seriously just, we were only doing like my mom wanted us to do. She came up with the idea to throw them into the lake, and at the time it seemed like a good idea. And honestly, we regret it, man.
Yeah, big time.
We seriously regret doing that, man. You're family, dude. And it's because of KKS that we made it as far as we did.
Yep. And we thank you.
Yeah, seriously, man. Because without you, I don't know what we'd be doing.
And we love you to death.
Exactly, man. So if you see this, man, just know that we are deeply and truly sorry. Because Killer Khan sounds like you said yesterday.
Despite all this, Eric never clapped back. He didn't engage, didn't take the bait, and didn't air out the full drama, which was a smart move. Because when you're dealing with someone as detached from reality as Cyraxx, there's no such thing as a win. You don't argue with a tornado. You step aside and let it destroy itself.
Another time, Cyraxx tried to flex some lyrics from his upcoming album by posting a poem he claimed to have written, and for a split second it actually caught people off guard. Because the writing? It was surprisingly clean. No typos, no bizarre punctuation, no second-grade grammar. It felt suspiciously un-Cyraxx. And sure enough, within minutes, people realized he stole it. The entire thing was a poem by Mark Slaughter, and the funniest part, Cyraxx forgot to delete the copyright mark at the end. That's right.
He tried to pass off someone else's published work as his own, and left the damn copyright still on it. You seriously can't make this stuff up.
It's moments like this that really show just how far gone he is. It's not just laziness, it's this full-blown fantasy where he thinks no one's going to notice. Like the internet is too stupid to use Google.
But here's where it really spirals into comedy. Despite being busted multiple times for plagiarism, Cyraxx still has the audacity to post things like this on Facebook.
You know, I am really sick of this BS. Every time I do music, some people with a few thousand views on Facebook, YouTube, etc. think it's funny to jack my work and claim it as their own. And what pisses me off even more is that they get away with it, and I am getting fed the hell up with it. Why take my work when you are as good as I am? I don't understand why you feel the need to take my work and claim it as your own.
The lack of self-awareness is absolutely mind-melting. This is a guy who's stolen beats, lyrics, brand names, entire personas, and then turns around to cry about how he's the victim of music theft. He acts like he's Prince getting ripped off by garage bands, when in reality he's just a glorified internet joke who couldn't make a real beat if his life depended on it.
Beyond his delusional music career, Cyraxx has a long history of failed side ventures, each one more pathetic and poorly thought out than the last.
It started back in 2012 when he claimed he was working on a manga series called Spectorbiz. According to his promise, it was set to be released sometime around early to mid-2013.
But surprise, he never mentioned it again. Not a panel, not a sketch, not even a follow-up post. The entire thing was a false promise, another fantasy project that existed and only in his head.
Then, in 2014, Cyraxx posted one of his most random lies yet, claiming he was working as an anime illustrator for a series called Rinmaru High Clander series. Problem is, that series doesn't exist. It never did. He just made up a fake anime and inserted himself into it like a delusional OC character from a fanfiction forum.
On February 16th, 2014, he cranked it up even more by claiming he was a US soldier who had been to war. This was a lie so outrageous it didn't even pass as a joke. Cyraxx has never left his hometown. Ever. But because Sally's ex-husband was a veteran, Cyraxx latched onto that identity like a parasite.
Later, he doubled down by calling himself a Valor Thief Hunter, posting a bizarre tribute saying,
"This song is going out to all the Valor Thieves out there from myself, Soldier Hard, Brian Scott Bates, and all those who'd served honorably in the US military."
He wasn't just pretending to be a vet. He was inserting himself into actual military tributes, like anyone took him seriously.
Throughout that same year, his Facebook page became flooded with low-effort anime reposts, making it painfully clear that 2014 was his full-blown anime phase, one where he thought watching Naruto gave him a personality.
By 2015, things got even more bizarre, and frankly, much darker. That year, a local man named Zach Hussein was murdered in Cyraxx's city, a genuinely tragic situation. But Cyraxx's response was unnerving. He repeatedly posted Zach's photo on his own social media, even using images of Zach in cars to make tone-deaf, cringe tributes.
It's especially weird considering there's no evidence Cyraxx even knew Zach personally. For him, it was just another opportunity to insert himself into someone else's tragedy and feed his need for attention.
And 2015 was also the year Cyraxx started acting like some kind of Facebook warlord, convinced he was a political leader on the front lines of global security. He posted unhinged rants like,
"I just got word that ISIS is planning on whipping out the world's power grid and starting World War III. We need to gather troops and take ISIS and Obama out of office, before it's too late. They have already disabled 3 grids in Islamic countries, so to everyone out there, please be ready."
This wasn't a one-off either. His feed from this era is a fever dream of fake intelligence, panic posts, and self-appointed internet heroics. It's not just embarrassing, it's genuinely delusional.
Then came 2016, arguably his peak year of unhinged nonsense. In November, he posted a meltdown about a man named Andrew, saying,
"Somebody needs to get up here ASAP. I'm so fed up with Andrew's bullying, and I am at my breaking point with him."
No one knows who Andrew is, but what's clear is Cyraxx had some sort of one-sided war going on, while also claiming the cops were ignoring his cries for help. It was pure emotional blackmail, wrapped in typos and desperation.
That same month, he dropped one of the dumbest lies in his entire legacy, claiming he broke a world record in Samurai Warriors 3. According to him, he scored 119,940 KOs in 13 minutes on Nightmare difficulty using a level 1 custom character. Let's break that down. He claimed he was killing over 150 enemies per second on the hardest difficulty, using a character that would literally get one-shotted in the game.
No video, no screenshots, and no leaderboard. Just a Facebook post from a guy who couldn't even code his own website.
In the middle of these breakdowns, he also made several "I'm being bullied" posts, crying online about how nobody helps him and how he can't fight back without going to jail. All of this while pretending to be a war vet, a record holder, and an anime creator.
Meanwhile, fake Facebook accounts started showing up on his posts, calling him talented and praising his art. But even the laziest observer could tell it was Cyraxx complimenting himself from sock puppet accounts.
The grammar, typos, and weird formatting were identical to his own posts. It was like watching someone throw themselves a surprise party and act shocked.
As if all that wasn't enough, he even claimed to be developing a video game called Battle Academy. The concept, unknown. The gameplay, non-existent, the reception pure troll bait. No one took it seriously, and once again the project fizzled out the same way all his others do.
And then there's the 3D prosthetic hand scam. In 2016, Cyraxx uploaded a slick, professional-looking image of a robotic hand and claimed he designed it himself in SketchUp.
But the model was clearly ripped from a professional CAD library, complete with detailed pivot joints and industrial mechanics far beyond what SketchUp could render at the time. There were no blueprints, no work-in-progress shots, and absolutely zero technical backing. Just a stolen image and another delusion that he was a genius inventor.
By 2017, Cyraxx had moved on from failed albums and fake art careers to a whole new brand of delusion, app development. He suddenly announced he was working hard on a mysterious new app called Infected Virus, and promised it would drop.
Not a single detail about what the app was supposed to do, and just an edgy name and a guarantee that it was coming soon. Spoiler, it never existed.
What makes it even weirder is how obsessed he got with the virus theme around this time. Cyraxx actually rebranded himself as Virus, plastering his new alias everywhere online like he was launching some pandemic of cringe. He even started promoting Infected Virus merch for his imaginary album. Shirts and gear covered in the branding for a project nobody ever saw.
It was just another bizarre phase. Loud, short-lived, and utterly pointless.
Besides all the controversy surrounding Cyraxx, he has managed to get multiple girlfriends throughout his 15 years online presence, though most of them turned out to be fake accounts set up by trolls just to mess with him. But even outside of the catfish circus, he managed to find himself in a surprising number of real relationships, each messier than the last.
Back in 2011, he was publicly attached to a girl named Natalie. At one point, Cyraxx went on Facebook to complain about Natalie being bullied by her ex and demanded that it stop. But Natalie herself jumped into the comments to set the record straight. Her ex wasn't behind any of it. Just a classic case of Cyraxx making drama where there wasn't any.
Only a few months before that, he had been posting about a different girlfriend, Monica, plastering her all over his feed and claiming her as his own. To add an extra layer of weird, even his grandmother Sally was chiming in on Monica's Facebook posts, making it clear this wasn't just internet fantasy.
By October 2012, Cyraxx had moved on again, this time to a new girlfriend named Heather, not to be confused with Heather Kraut, a different girlfriend from 2019, who deserves her own section later. This Heather actually showed up in a handful of Cyraxx's videos, most memorably in the infamous apology video after he stole music from Eric.
Man, it's us. Listen, I know you're pretty upset about the whole dog tag thing and whatnot.
But while he was still with Heather, he decided to hit on her close friend, Jennifer Stone King, around June 2014. Jennifer wasn't having any of it. She called him out publicly on Facebook, but neither Cyraxx nor Heather ever responded.
While the specifics are hazy, the relationship with Heather seems to have fizzled out around 2015, likely due to Cyraxx's habit of chasing new girls, even while he was already in a relationship. Around this period, he was also dating a girl named Abby, who was disabled following a failed suicide attempt at a train station.
While Cyraxx was trying to be polyamorous, or he was in break with Abby, we don't know, but from what is seen post around February of 2016, he seems to be looking for a new girlfriend. Why can't I be happy with a wonderful girl who loves me for me and won't hurt me or use me, then throw me away? All I want is to be happy. Is that too much to ask for? To be happy with a girl who doesn't drink, smoke, or do any drugs, and will stand by my side no matter what? Is that really too much to ask for?
Honestly, I was tempted to feel bad for the guy, until I saw a comment under the post that said, "You're not single, I am yours, ain't I? I thought I'd been yours since, like, October."
There's no concrete proof that the commenter is Abby, but based on the timeline, it seems likely. And yet, Cyraxx somehow managed to sink even lower. He cheated on Abby with her best friend, Tiffany. Given his track record, that's not exactly shocking. But what happened next somehow made everything worse. When the cheating scandal with Tiffany went public, Cyraxx didn't apologize or take any accountability. Instead, he doubled down, releasing a string of bizarre videos in August 2017, where he tried to set the record straight.
In one of the videos, Cyraxx insisted, with a straight face, "My girlfriend Tiffany is not going to interfere between me and Abby."
I want you guys to know that my girlfriend Tiffany is no more. She is done for. I no longer have any contact with her. And I can promise you guys that she will not come between me and Abby again.
The fact that he was still calling Tiffany his girlfriend while supposedly working things out with Abby shows just how clueless, or shameless, he really is.
From there, he tried to spin an even wilder story. According to Cyraxx, Tiffany had somehow hacked his Facebook, posted fake messages in his DMs, and framed him for the entire mess. No proof, no screenshots, just a desperate attempt to rewrite reality after getting caught.
But Cyraxx couldn't just let it go. He immediately latched onto a new narrative, now claiming that neither he nor Tiffany did anything wrong. Instead, he blamed Abby's parents for the breakup, saying they only wanted Abby's money and that they wouldn't allow her to be with Cyraxx because they'd lose access to her finances.
The logic was as twisted as it was self-serving, and again there wasn't a shred of real evidence.
You really don't. I did nothing wrong. Tiff did nothing wrong. Neither did Abby. It was her parents controlling her. Not me, not Tiff, not anyone else. And like I said, I did nothing wrong. So don't you sit there and blame me for something I didn't do. That's up and it's low. And you want to know why Abby's parents split us up? Because they'd rather believe a lying bitch of an ex of mine over me who is telling the truth. They want to control Abby. They want her money. They don't care about Abby. They really don't. What they care about is her money because of her disability.
Then, in a move that crosses every line imaginable, Cyraxx escalated his attacks on Abby's family, going as far as to accuse her father of abusing her when she was a child.
And well, something you guys may not know, her father, her own dad, arrested her from the age of 17 to 18 and got away with it. And you tell me that's not up. So don't sit there and tell me what's right and not right. I did nothing but look after her.
There was no basis for the claim, just pure, baseless vitriol thrown out in public. Even if it were true, which it is not, dragging something that vile online is disgusting. The fact that he reached for that narrative just to save face says everything about the kind of chaos he brings into every relationship. Even after a year this thing had happened, Cyraxx wasn't letting go. In August 2018, he posted a video claiming to be the nicest and most respectful person, even begging Abby's parents to give him a second chance. But that doesn't quite add up when you consider the nasty things he had just said about Abby's father.
I'm sitting here reaching out, trying to give you guys a chance. But yet you throw it back in both my face and hers. And for what? Because of some stupid shit that happened last year that wasn't even my fault? I'm not the creep you guys are making me out to be. I'm really not. I'm actually one of the nicest people you could ever meet. And maybe if you guys would sit down long enough and see, maybe you guys would see that I'm not the evil person that you guys are making me out to be.
It's honestly baffling how convinces himself he's doing Abby's parents a favor, while in the same breath begging for forgiveness and a second chance. I genuinely can't understand how he thought this was the right approach in a situation like this. Despite Cyraxx's desperate attempts to get back with Abby, the relationship finally ended, and he announced the breakup in a video in June 2019. But true to form, he refused to take any accountability. In Cyraxx's world, it's never his fault. Everyone else is always to blame. What made this breakup even more vile was his immediate shift into victim mode, falsely accusing Abby of abusing him. A blatant, shameless lie.
As some of you may or may not know, me and Abby have split up. You know, we're no longer together. She actually tried to publicly humiliate me on social media. And that was like just a couple weeks ago. And that happened. Basically, I just managed to escape the abuse that her and all my exes have put me through over the last several years. I've been dealing with a lot of stuff.
Cyraxx wasn't just lying, he was inventing an entire fake narrative where he's the victim. But in the situation with Abby, the reality is clear. Cyraxx was the abuser and the cheater. He wasn't just unfaithful with Tiffany, he also got involved with another woman, Heather Kraut, who would soon become his next girlfriend.
Things took an even more bizarre turn in April 2019 when Cyraxx somehow managed to get into a relationship with a woman named Heather. It's not entirely clear how they met, but it appears to have been through Cyraxx's rap career. If you can call shouting into a broken mic over stolen beats a career.
Now here's where it gets strange. Heather wasn't some internet shut-in. She actually had a job, had been in a lesbian relationship, had 2 kids, and was living with her wife's family before deciding to completely derail her life and move in with Cyraxx, into his grandmother's house no less. A grown woman with children voluntarily chose to go shack up with a guy known online as one of the most hated and trolled figures on the entire internet. But the deeper you dig, the more it makes sense, because Heather wasn't exactly stable herself.
Turns out, Child Protective Services had already been called on her multiple times. One case involved her son getting a rash, another for leaving her daughter with strangers. At one point, Heather claimed that she and her daughter were kicked out of their home, her wife's parents' house, and forced to sleep on the kitchen floor. She told this sob story to gain sympathy, but it was complete fiction. The truth came out when her ex-wife's mother, the daughter's actual grandmother, exposed the lie publicly and called Heather out for manipulating the situation.
But she told us you guys were making her sleep on the kitchen floor with the baby.
No.
And
That is an outright lie.
Okay.
I mean, why would I do that to my grandbaby?
Okay. I believe you 100%. I'm just trying to clear this up because and then she said that you guys gave her 2 weeks to get out, but your daughter also had to move out and the baby. That's why she had to go live with Chance.
No. She went to live with Chance because she fucking wanted to.
So this was just a decision she made and just got up and left her job and everything.
She came home from work one day and she had already decided what she was going to do.
Despite all of this, Heather left behind her job, her kids, and her living arrangement to move into Sally's house with Cyraxx. And somehow, Cyraxx, who never even met Heather's kids in person, decided he was going to be their savior. He began ranting online about getting the kids back, like he was the stepdad of the year. But according to Heather's wife, when Heather left, she didn't even say goodbye to her daughter. She literally snuck out in the middle of the night just to avoid being seen.
She's telling everyone that she's building a room for her and taking her there by Christmas.
No, she's not.
Okay, so there was never any plans on her coming to get the baby back.
No. She left here for my fucking dead body. She left here that night. Did not even say nothing to Leah. Not hey, bye, nothing.
If that wasn't weird enough, the internet was soon gifted with one of the most cringe-inducing moments in Cyraxx history. During a stream, Heather kissed him on camera as some sort of celebration for trolling a troll. But the second her lips touched his, her body physically rejected it. She coughed, wiped her mouth, and leaned away like she just swallowed cleaning fluid.
Oh, the troll just got trolled. I know how to troll too, so y'all call me again from private numbers. I'm gonna troll the out of y'all. Remember that.
Yes, that was solid, babe.
Call me again and watch what happens.
Nice work, babe. Yeah, I'll try that again.
There was no playfulness about it, no laughter, just immediate regret all over her face. Cyraxx, visibly shaken, tried to recover the moment like a kid bombing his first middle school date. He nervously muttered, "Let's try the kiss again," desperate to rewrite what just happened.
Nice work, babe. Yeah, I'll try that again, shall we?
Let's see if they call again.
And
He said, got him. Hold on.
Nice work, babe.
But Heather? She was locked back in on the stream like nothing happened. She completely ignored his repeated requests for a redo, brushing him off and pretending it never happened. No second kiss, no affection. Just Cyraxx sitting there in full humiliation mode as thousands of people clipped and replayed the moment on loop for internet eternity.
Hey, he's talking about this.
Oh.
He's talking about this right here.
Ah. Thank you for calling. Hooters Extraordinary. How may I direct your call?
As if this whole situation was not cringe enough, Cyraxx managed to take things even further into Fantasyland with Jamie, a known troll who regularly played mind games with him online. One day, Jamie jokingly said she liked him, clearly just messing around for entertainment.
But Cyraxx, in true Cyraxx fashion, took the troll bait and ran straight into delusion. He convinced himself that Jamie wasn't joking, and then convinced himself that they were actually dating. Not jokingly, not for show. In his mind, it was a real relationship. And because he doesn't know when to stop, he made things worse by saying it out loud in a stream, claiming he and Jamie were together.
And the cherry on top? Cyraxx, fully lost in the fiction, apologized to Heather for cheating on her. With Jamie? That's right. He apologized for something that never happened, in a relationship that never existed. In his warped brain, he wasn't just imagining relationships. He was creating entire cheating scandals that never occurred.
Oh, and Jamie, you need to stop listening to that little. I never touched her. One time, and that was it. And I apologized to you for that, Heather, and you told me that it was okay and that everything was fine. And that you weren't mad at me.
But things weren't just awkward or dysfunctional between Cyraxx and Heather, they were outright dangerous. One night, while streaming with Jamie, Cyraxx got into a full-blown meltdown. He was raging and screaming at Jama non-stop, completely losing control on camera. Heather, clearly fed up, snapped and yelled at him to stop. And that's when things took a very dark turn. Cyraxx suddenly lunged toward her in a way that made it clear this wasn't the first time he'd gotten physical.
What is it, Heather? Because you tell the truth, he does it.
Yourself, you little.
What? Cyraxx, I can't even talk to her like a normal person.
What? Hush! Hit me and I'm gonna knock your lights out.
Jamie, you're like you're right there.
Violent.
Even more disturbing was Heather's immediate reaction. She flinched, not in surprise, but like she was expecting to be hit. And although nothing happened in that moment, the body language told the whole story. Cyraxx didn't calm down. He kept screaming like a lunatic, looking less like a rapper and more like a deranged street preacher having a breakdown on a sidewalk.
But that moment wasn't isolated. In fact, it was just one of several documented incidents of abuse. In one shocking video, Cyraxx can be seen snatching Heather's phone before physically hitting her. And yes, this happened while she was live and people were watching.
So, how are you blocked?
I can't comment on your channel at all. I tried to comment and it disappeared. So somebody blocked me on your channel.
Probably because you guys are over there running your mouth.
Actually, all I said was that they were talking about on what's that dude's name? Suplex City Vlog, talking about how you were a spy for us.
So, Don, over there?
What? No. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it.
Hey, Preacher, how you doing, bitch?
Shocking.
See, look, she can't even talk. Now he beats his mom and he tries to control her. So what's next?
Indeed.
Some viewers immediately called the police, and eventually the cops showed up at Sally's house. But instead of breaking down or seeking help, Heather did the opposite. She defended Cyraxx. She blamed the person who reported it, saying they were the problem and that she wasn't being abused.
Yeah, so it's not domestic violence. You can talk to our friends. They know nothing.
Yeah, we can confirm that there's no domestic violence going on whatsoever. So
there's no domestic
whoever
violence.
called you, you need to trace that number back and get them for a false report ASAP. Because otherwise, because they're violating the law by you filing a false report right now.
They think he's a teacher.
I have family in law. But I can confirm that.
What happened was they actually, and y'all might want to dial on this, they did actually.
The dude's name who keeps calling, his name is Rufus.
And he did threaten.
Where's he stay?
We don't know.
Who's Rufus?
It was both baffling and disturbing. The streams were out there, the footage was public, and yet she continued to protect him. Heather even went as far as making a performative PSA-style video about how cyberbullying can push people to suicide, which was aimed to prevent the trolls. Sounds sweet in theory, except the video wasn't a general awareness piece. It was a guilt trip, clearly aimed at the trolls and critics who call Cyraxx out for his behavior.
I know he ain't it. What is... I hope you are very happy.
the whole premise collapsed under its own hypocrisy. First of all, Cyraxx isn't being bullied. He's being mocked for the insane things he willingly does online. If anyone's putting him in these positions, it's himself. Second, Cyraxx isn't some misunderstood weirdo. He's someone who has done objectively vile and harmful things and continues to avoid consequences. If anything, the trolls who document and react to his chaos are the ones doing the world a favor by keeping a spotlight on it.
In another stream, Heather joined a call with 2 known troll streamers, people who've been deep in the Cyraxx rabbit hole. And instead of keeping his cool, Cyraxx snapped again. He insulted everyone on the stream, including Heather herself.
I don't want him to like follow you around and think like we're doing this to be mean to him.
Go inside.
No, you know what? You done f***ed up.
Get inside.
No, you done fucked up. Telling her all this, you done fucked this fucking bag. Heather,
Is he calling you a bag, Heather?
I'm calling both of y'all.
Oh my god. See, Heather? You cannot have your baby there. Somebody needs to call the police for real, because now I'm definitely worried for her. I don't know if he was talking to us or talking to her. Somebody in the chat, save your call. Somebody right now. And I will take blame.
After that stream, things started to snowball. People who had been following Heather's story began pleading with her to leave Cyraxx and go back to her children. But instead of even considering the advice, Heather lashed out, not at Cyraxx, but at the people trying to help her.
The only reason why he's acting like this because of you, and
he's always acting
because he's awake. That's why he's acting like that.
Shut up, you asshole! Shut up! Okay, get the out of here. You're irrelevant. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your fat, ugly either. Y'all shut the
She looks better than you.
Shut the up.
She's not abandoned her kids either.
Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. You two, y'all are irrelevant.
She's
Y'all
not balding either.
She went so far as to falsely accuse one of the streamers, Jamie, of domestic violence, essentially swatting her in retaliation.
So yeah, here's the police. Here, we're gonna show, can you tell them please? Because I'm proving this. I'm gonna save this for record. Yeah, the cops are at my door, because someone from Akron, Ohio called and said my children were in danger.
Heather and Cyraxx.
Technically a form of swatting,
They can tell you. You guys want to explain what they've been doing?
Heather and Cyraxx has been calling. Heather and Cyraxx has been giving out everybody's phone number and telling them
Champ,
to
share
call us.
sign.
And that
That's
ain't
fine.
right. Like,
Yeah, I know. Hang on, they're gonna handle it. They said they just have to make sure my kids were fine, and they're fine, and that's it. FRICS. JAYME. N.
Is it just 1 E or 2 E's?
Just one.
And your birthday?
Tomorrow. 1/22/85.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's my roommate's birthday today.
It's a good day.
So sorry that you guys had to come here for no
don't worry
reason,
about it.
but
Just, yeah, I guess however you want to handle it online.
please don't take care of Heather and Cyraxx.
they're just gonna
for
keep
us.
doing it.
It's
So
just nuts. I would just block people and
I do, but they're just keep calling you guys.
But in the end, it didn't matter how much Heather tried to shield him, because Cyraxx, being Cyraxx, couldn't even maintain the loyalty of someone who defended him at every turn. Not long after all the drama, Cyraxx was quote sending his private parts to another woman, while still with Heather.
Like I said, as for those photos of my that are out there, yeah, they're out there. But guess what? Nobody gives a Jamie. You're the only one that gives a You're the only one that's into that. I don't give a if they're out there or not, because at the end of the day, they don't affect me.
By May 2020, Heather had finally had enough and decided to leave, but unfortunately for her, the reaction from Cyraxx upon hearing this news wasn't so nice. In fact, it was very chaotic. The day she decided to leave, Heather would call her brother Michael to come and pick her, but Cyraxx, being Cyraxx, decided to attack Michael in an attempt to make Heather stay. According to the police report from that day, Cyraxx punched Michael 3 times in the face and went to jail for it, but unfortunately, he got released because Heather and her brother didn't want any contact with him whatsoever. After this happened, you might think Cyraxx would take his lesson and stay quiet for a while, but he didn't. The same day all this happened, Cyraxx filmed over 5 separate videos, each one full of contradictions and narrative flips, all of them designed to paint himself as the real victim.
In one of those rants, he even claimed Heather didn't care about him at all and let him spiral when he was supposedly about to stab himself with a knife.
When I was close to death, when I was on the verge of ending my life, and I begged and I pleaded for her to not go. She didn't do a damn thing. She sat there and fucking stared at me with a blank, evil, heartless look. What kind of person does that?
But then, in true Cyraxx fashion, he later admitted that Heather actually did try to stop him and attempted to take the knife away.
All you did was sit there and stare and didn't even try to do anything. All you sat there and did was say, "Give me the knife, give me the knife." You didn't even try to take it or even talk to me. All you did was sit there and stare at me.
Even if Heather hadn't intervened, the entire situation reeks of rage-bait suicide theatrics, something Cyraxx has been known for doing when he wants sympathy or to deflect from his abusive behavior. Then in another video, he contradicted his previous story again by claiming Heather didn't even talk to him when she left, despite previously saying they had a conversation about it and that he begged her to stay.
I do love you. If anybody doesn't love anyone, you're the one that never loved me. You wouldn't even sit down and talk to Mom before taking off. You wouldn't even talk to me. Your ass just grabbed your clothes and ran out the door like a coward. You're a ass coward for running like you did.
Still, the breakup hit Cyraxx hard, at least for a minute. In the aftermath, he did what all broken narcissists do. He made a song about it, a whole sad, tone-deaf musical tribute to Heather.
This song is going out to my girl. I want you to know that I love you. I am sorry about everything that I put you through. And I just hope that you won't give up on me. I love you so much. I'm so sorry about hurting you. I'm sorry about pushing you away like I did inside.
Because in Cyraxx's world, he wasn't the abuser, he wasn't the problem. He was just a misunderstood legend with a microphone and a broken heart. And unsurprisingly, Cyraxx didn't stop. He just kept escalating.
As if the Heather saga wasn't enough of a wreck, Cyraxx was already spiraling in another direction, with a different woman entirely. A woman who would mark the beginning of a new era in Cyraxx's timeline. Cyraxx and Candle first connected sometime in early 2017 through the Juggalo community. They shared similar music interests, especially around Insane Clown Posse and the underground horrorcore scene. But according to Cyraxx, their friendship quickly leveled into a relationship sometime in October of 2018.
On top of everything else, Cyraxx genuinely seemed to be in love with Candle during this time, at least based on his posts. He even started planning who would be the godfather of their future child. By December, he began begging for money on live streams, claiming he needed it to move Kendall from Mississippi to Akron. According to Cyraxx, her parents were abusive, and that's why he wanted her to come live with him, well, technically with his grandmother. He also claimed that Kendall's family was stealing her government disability money, as she is partially blind and disabled.
Of course, all of these claims were lies. Not only was Cyraxx exposed as a liar, but Candle herself shut everything down by commenting on his post. "Why would I come to you after the way you did me?" That one comment made it clear they weren't even together when he was begging for money on the stream.
Dealing with someone by the name of Candle Smith, who is the reason I've been attacked for the last 5 years. Yeah, the reason why Marty and all of them have been attacking me is because of her.
At this point in time, it's very clear that Cyraxx and Kendall are not in a relationship anymore, but what should be a peaceful and respectful end of a relationship became the very reason a lifetime feud would start. Cyraxx, in his usual vibe, wasn't letting this opportunity slide him and used it to make himself the victim. How the f do I always end up with all these girls who are not right in the head? Is it too much to ask for a normal, happier relationship?
What makes this post even funnier, aside from Cyraxx once again playing the victim, is that he actually blocked Candle before posting it, just so she couldn't see it and call him out. But he didn't stop there. He went on to claim that Candle had uploaded a YouTube video where she supposedly abused and harassed him the entire time. That video's long gone, and no one's been able to find it, but what we do have is Candle's own serious accusation. She says Cyraxx had been stalking her for months, figured out where she lives, and even called her landlord in an attempt to get her kicked out.
Yo, this is your girl Rebecca. This is a video to prove how bad of a stalker Chance is. He sat there and found out where I live. Not creepy at all, not a stalker vibe at all. Like, really? He found out where I lived, called my landlord psychopathic maniac.
Although there is no way of proving that these claims are true, given Cyraxx's behavior, it won't be surprising if it's true. From this point forward, Cyraxx got worse and started to threaten Candle multiple times.
So you want to keep playing that game? I will have you arrested for harassment. So guess what? I ain't the one going to jail. The one that's going to jail is you. So keep running your mouth, you little guarantee your ass is going to go to jail. Guarantee.
Besides being aggressive, Cyraxx would randomly become nonchalant and claim to be the victim of this whole saga by posting stuff like this in his Facebook. I know it's sad to say, but to be very honest, because of what Candle did to me, I am very afraid to be with anyone now. She not only used me and lied to me, she mentally and verbally abused me in those videos she had up and made me feel far worse than any of my exes ever could have done.
The attack wasn't only from one side either. Candle made multiple videos claiming that Cyraxx is a pedophile and needs to be stopped.
Alright, this is a live video on Facebook. I got something to address to all those mothers out there.
You too.
All you mothers out there that have young children, be warned of this guy named Chance Wilkins. He'll off on your children. Not only that, he'll sit there and off on video chat with them. He'll sit there and threaten to kill your children if they don't sleep with him. They will do whatever they can. He will literally hurt you. This man is psychotic. He's dangerous. Women, be warned. His name is Chance Wilkins.
And this led to Cyraxx being so angry and baffled by her that he couldn't stop being obsessed with her. Eventually, the harassment got so intense that Candle had to do something drastic. She faked her death. That's right. She disappeared entirely, changed her name to Becky, and vanished from where she was living. That's how bad it got. A woman had to pretend she was dead just to make Cyraxx leave her alone.
But even that wasn't enough.
Once Candle was gone, Cyraxx didn't move on. He doubled down. He reversed the narrative and painted himself as the victim by claiming Candle was the real bully. And in a twisted, almost laughable move, he tried to rally others who'd had any disagreement with Candle, all while ignoring the very real abuse and stalking he had committed.
It's time to put an end to this cyberbullying, this harassment, and these death threats once and for all. So if you have been victimized by Candle or any of her friends, please don't be afraid to come forward. You can message myself, you can message any of my friends, like my friend Jordan. He can point you to me, and or if you guys want to message me directly and you guys have been victimized by Candle and her friends just like I have, I can lead you to others who have gone through that same thing. We have gone through the exact same bullying that she put me and you guys through. I'm not the only one. There are others out there that these people have been bullying for several months now.
The gaslighting didn't stop there. On September 27, 2019, Cyraxx posted a video to Facebook ranting about being harassed. This time claiming a DM from one of Candle's friends was proof.
But if you look at the screenshot closer, it shows nothing that could be called harassment. Just another case of him stretching the truth until it snapped.
Someone in the comments had clearly had enough and replied,
Candle is dead. Everyone needs to stop keeping her involved in this drama. It's disrespectful.
And Cyraxx's response?
I know, and I'm right in the middle being blamed for it when I'm not at fault at all.
That reply says it all. Even knowing she had faked her death, even believing she was actually gone, Cyraxx couldn't help himself. He was still posting accusations, still trying to clear his name, still desperate to twist the story into one where he was the victim of some orchestrated campaign.
It's disturbing not just because of what he said, but because of when he said it. If he truly believed Candle was dead at the time, then accusing her of bullying and abuse when she couldn't defend herself is vile on a different level. And if he knew she faked it, then it's even worse, because it means he understood exactly why she disappeared and still tried to spin the public against her.
The whole shebang Cyraxx had with Candle was as chaotic as it gets, but even worse, it introduced him to the person who would soon become his arch nemesis and one of the most notable Cyraxx's trolls of all time, MusicBizMarty.
I'm dealing with someone by the name of Candle Smith, who is the reason I've been attacked for the last 5 years. Yeah, the reason why Marty and all of them have been attacking me is because of her.
While Candle was having a rough time with Cyraxx, she would ask help from her ex-boyfriend, the Boy Blue, who happened to be close friend with MusicBizMarty, and Marty ended up having interest in Cyraxx not to befriend him, but to be his lifetime troll, which marked the beginning of a whole new era in Cyraxx's saga.
Cyraxx, hey, Burger Boy, how'd you like a hand with putting in your skull next? Why can't you guys leave my family alone? Why can't you stop targeting me? Why? This ain't funny, Burger Boy, so shut up.
Where was this energy
This
last
ain't a
night?
joke, you fat fuck.
Where was this energy last
Why
night?
can't you stop targeting my family? Leave us alone now!
And the very first troll against Cyraxx would be through this Blender Boys record label. Marty and some other trolls, noticing Cyraxx's lifetime delusion of becoming the next #1 rapper, would collab with a record label called Bender Boys. They told Chance that they have signed him, and then as a requirement told him to make a YouTube video promoting the Bender Boys. Cyraxx was actually gullible enough to fall for this, and even went so far that he made himself the next hottest artist, feeding to his age-old delusion.
So to the real fans, y'all killed it. And to the Bender Boys, I want to say thank you, man. You want to know why? Because I got an opportunity to change my kids' lives. 100%. So if y'all want to step to the best, you're looking at them, boys. You're looking at the new hottest artist on the scene. And if you ain't subscribed to Bender Boys Records or the Bender Boys YouTube channel, go check them out, son. They got some dope ass.
If you are probably wondering about his jacket, it's actually a dope jacket if he hadn't taken it from Sally. What a joke. A 30 years old man wearing his grandmother's jacket and then bragging about having a cool jacket as if he hadn't taken it from Sally.
Hey, y'all little ass haters and think I can dress up, did you? Yeah, you can't do this. And you see the back of this jacket right here? Soon enough, the BBR patch is going right there, boys. Right on that back. You want to know why? Because I rep BBR to the death of me. And every label that I've rocked over the years. Killer Clown Sounds on this song. Bloodshot Records right here.
After Cyraxx made this video, the next day Bender Boys would call him and tell him the unfortunate news that his contract is sold to another person. As you might expect, Cyraxx was angered by the news, but even more worse, the Bender Boys told Cyraxx that they sold his contract to MusicBizMarty, which obviously added fuel to the fire given Cyraxx's hate toward Marty.
Yo, Cyraxx, I got an announcement to make.
What's up, dude?
Well, the video's not doing as well as we thought it was going to.
Yeah.
And speaking with the team here at Bender Boys Records, they deemed you unmanageable.
How?
And then we had to sell your contract, man.
Wait, what the? Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
Are you? No, dude.
We sold it this morning.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, the video didn't perform as well as we thought it was going to.
Dude, are you serious? I put in all that hard work for nothing? Are you serious right now?
Well, we sold the contract.
Bro, you're stupid. You're stupid, man. What the man? I put in all that hard work for you and the crew for what? What the man?
Well, we sold your contract, so you're still alive.
You know what? You, hey, the Bender Boys, I'm doing this on my own. You.
Do you want to know who we sold it to?
I already know. MusicBizMarty, fucking contact.
Cyraxx was once again baited when he received what he believed was a memorial plaque from his publisher. Hyped beyond belief, he rushed onto a stream to flex it in front of his trolls, screaming, raging, and aiming most of his energy at MusicBizMarty, bragging about how he was finally being recognized for his artistry.
All I have to say to you guys is this. Run your mouth now. Run your mouth now, boy. Talk your shit now, Marty. Go ahead and talk your Look at that. What's that say right there?
But the joke was entirely on him. The plaque wasn't a trophy. It was a mockery, custom made to clown on the fact that Cyraxx hadn't sold a single track. It wasn't celebrating success. It was literally trolling his failure. And Cyraxx, in peak delusional fashion, didn't get it. He treated it like it was a Grammy.
And everybody knows that I'm not racist. But this, Marty, is for you. And I know you know what that means. I'm your own personal Hitler bag. And I'll make sure you die in the gas chamber you were born from.
In one particularly unhinged moment, Cyraxx went off on stream and declared that he would get rid of Marty, and then said something no one saw coming. He claimed to be Marty's personal Hitler.
And everybody knows that I'm not racist. But this, Marty, is for you. And I know you know what that means. I'm your own personal Hitler bag. And I'll make sure you die in the gas chamber you were born from. You want to sit there and bully someone? Bully me. I'll throw your ass in that gas chamber lyrically and make sure you never leave alive. Because like I told you, Marty, I am your own personal Hitler.
It wasn't just disturbing, it was so absurdly disconnected from reality that even longtime viewers were left speechless. Who says that? Of all the metaphors he could have used, that was his go-to? Completely deranged.
But what makes it even worse is how pathetically easy he is to manipulate. Time and time again, he's fallen for fake online girlfriends, many of them crafted by Marty and his circle, specifically to bait him. And Cyraxx doesn't just flirt, he overshares everything, dumping out his personal baggage like it's a therapy session with someone he's never met.
That's exactly what happened on February 1st, 2021. In one of the most revolting moments ever caught, Cyraxx let his guard down and confessed something so graphic and vile, everyone who saw it were momentarily stunned. It wasn't just cringe, it was repulsive.
It's one of those clips that speaks for itself. There's no way to soften it, you just have to see it to believe it.
If I can't concentrate, I'm lost. So I eat a Snickers, and I know I won't be hungry for at least 3 hours.
Oh, dude, I'll fuck with Snickers, homie.
And I can do my studying, and I can go to bed.
Happy peanuts soar over chocolate-covered mountaintops and waterfalls of caramel. Prancing nougat in the meadow sings a song of satisfaction to the world.
Packed with peanuts, Snickers really satisfies.
Snickers really satisfies you.
That same year, things escalated again. Marty sent a serrated knife to the doorstep of a woman named Tangerine Cat, who Cyraxx believed was his girlfriend. Cyraxx lost it. He made a furious video threatening Marty and everyone else involved, acting like this was the final straw.
You have gone too far. And I mean too far. It's one thing to attack me. It's one thing to troll me. Alright? It's one thing to make a, a ha-ha joke, very funny. Oh, we had your shit, blah, blah, funny. It's one thing to do that. But to leave a goddamn knife with a note on my girlfriend's doorstep? Are you serious? Are you stupid? This Marty put my girlfriend's life in danger. And if you want to know what this bag did, he put a serrated knife with a note on her doorstep with a warning note. So like I said, Marty, your ass is done. I'm coming for you. At Tyler, at Schmeckel, I'm coming for all three of you.
But it wasn't, because Tangerine Cat was in on it too. She wasn't some innocent bystander. She was another Marty collaborator, another troll-created persona designed to catfish Cyraxx and drag him deeper into his own delusions. And like always, it worked.
The trolling didn't stop at fake relationships. It kept escalating into full-blown humiliation at rituals. One of the most brutal setups involved Martina666, yet another fake girlfriend account created by Marty. Cyraxx, convinced she was real, ended up sending her photos, the kind of content that should have never existed in the first place. Marty, of course, saved everything.
From there, it turned into leverage. Marty would routinely bait Cyraxx into joining his streams by threatening to send those pictures to Tangerine Cat, who, just like Martina, was in on it the whole time. Every interaction was a setup, and every reaction from Cyraxx was pure meltdown.
But the roasting didn't end with catfishing. Marty also began dissecting Cyraxx's so-called music and writing projects. In one brutal stream, he pointed out that 6 of Cyraxx's songs had lyrics directly lifted, word for word, from other artists' older tracks. When confronted, Cyraxx tried to play it off, saying he just writes and it turns out that way. According to him, it was just coincidence, and that this kind of thing happens all the time to writers.
Okay, now what if I were to tell you that the exact same lyrics, word for word, were written down by a band called September Avenue on August 28th of 2016.
No way, he's just sworn into his own family. Come on, don't be a
Oh,
hold on, Marty. Hold on, man.
There's no way.
I want to copy Chance's words here. I'm going to post them in the chat.
There are some people that will sit there and literally write down a song. Like, they will literally sit there and write a song and not know that it was actually written word for word before. There have been plenty of people that have done this.
When pushed further, Cyraxx couldn't even explain the basic meanings of certain words in his own songs or book, stuff he allegedly wrote himself. Marty kept pressing. Cyraxx panicked and rage quit the call once again.
And in one final desperate attempt to clear his name, Cyraxx swore on his mother's life, and his entire family's life, that every word of those songs in that book was his own. A pathetic, theatrical oath that, once again, nobody believed.
The life you lead, you swear on, I want you to hear you say, I swear on my grandma's life that I wrote the song.
Dude, I swear on my whole family's life.
I told you. Okay.
Marty, matter of fact, Marty, if you want proof of me doing stuff like I do, go back and watch my live streams. There's been a lot of songs, and right there.
After the Tangerine Cat saga, things didn't settle down. In fact, Cyraxx's love life, or what he thought was his love life, spiraled into even deeper absurdity. He had stayed with Tangerine for about 4 months, genuinely believing she was real, until it all came crashing down when he was caught again, sending photos to another girl online. Tangerine divorced him, and Cyraxx found himself single for about 2 seconds.
That's when Strawberry Sunshine entered the picture, yet another fake girlfriend crafted by Marty, and like clockwork, Cyraxx fell for it. But what happened next took the already deranged Cyraxx timeline to a place no one saw coming.
It started with a confrontation.
Marty had uncovered that Cyraxx had been inappropriately messaging a disabled trans girl named Cindy Lou, including sending her unsolicited photos. It was disturbing enough on its own, but Marty, never missing an opportunity to publicly expose Cyraxx, confronted him live, while Strawberry Sunshine was on the same stream.
Let me get the screenshots. Utter panic. Utter panic. I can actually have Cindy Lou come up here and tell her side of the story, Cyraxx.
Let's have Cindy Lou on. That'll sort it out.
Right. So did you or did you not send your penis picture to a slow transgender person?
Well, but when did this happen?
Like a week ago? Now he starts to lose it.
Was this like during when I was blocked, or?
I'm not sure, but this person is like clearly targeted.
Was it after like the first video where he professed his love for me?
Oh, when you were together, he was two-timing you with Lava and other women as well.
Wait, I thought... What?
Correct. He is a two-timer, or a three-timer, or a four-timer.
Where did he go?
The second Marty dropped the bomb, Cyraxx's entire demeanor changed. He went from defensive to full-on panicked. He wasn't just embarrassed, he was terrified that Strawberry, his supposed new love, would leave him. And so did what he always does when he feels the walls closing in. He made it about himself.
He stood up, reached off screen, and returned holding what he claimed was a knife. On stream, in front of everyone, he began threatening to kill himself, saying he couldn't handle the betrayal and shame.
Oh, there he is.
Marty, do you want me to end my life?
No.
Do you want me to end my life? Enough is enough.
You need to quit sexting people.
It's Marty. I'll tell you later.
Who's that?
Marty, I'm telling you right now, you need to quit. Because you want to know what you do to me every day? This is what you make me want to do every day because of what you do to me.
People on the stream began to suspect something was off about the knife, and they were right. The supposed weapon Cyraxx had just threatened to use wasn't a knife at all. It was a stylus, a freaking digital pen. Once people realized, the entire stream erupted in laughter, reducing what was meant to be a dramatic scene into another legendary Cyraxx clown moment.
Put the knife down, Cyraxx.
It's not a knife, it's a f***ing pen, but Marty, this is what you do to me every day.
Wait, what is it, baby?
A pen?
It's the f***ing pen that I use, but Marty, this is what you do to me every day, and you think it's a joke. It's not a joke, Marty.
But it didn't end there. A few days later, after the act didn't get him the sympathy he wanted, Cyraxx turned on Strawberry Sunshine. He started insulting her, calling her a whore, and blaming her for everything that happened. And that was the final straw.
In response, Strawberry Sunshine dropped the nuke, the most infamous leak in Cyraxx history.
She revealed that Cyraxx had sent her a video of himself using the stylus. Yes, the same stylus he had just faked a suicide threat with, to satisfy himself, and Cyraxx's descent from joke to full-blown walking horror show was complete.
With all the Cindy Lou thing came to light, Cyraxx was exposed to have some fantasy in underage girls, and might even be the P word, but nothing could be more evidence to finally judge whether Cyraxx is a P.O. or not than Kate's report. To give you some context, Kate has a slightly big YouTube channel, and she does some kind of expose videos.
Since Cyraxx was getting more attention in around 2021, she decided to catfish him as a 15-year-old girl, which he ended up not only fooled, but also sending some inappropriate pictures of himself. Kate made sure at first that Cyraxx knew exactly that she was 15 years old and also a virgin. But Cyraxx did everything he did knowing that the person he is talking to is a minor. Ever since this thing came out, Cyraxx's reputation went freefall, but instead of making him come back, Cyraxx went even lower. He started flashing himself in Marty's streams in a desperate attempt to make Marty banned. Pretty pathetic.
And if that wasn't enough, instead of defending himself against the evidence, Cyraxx, as usual, lashed out at Kate and accused her of doing something illegal just for investigating him.
You had no grounds to do what you did. It don't matter if I gave off pedo or not. It don't matter. You had no right nor any reason to do what you did. You didn't know me. You didn't know what the I was about. You could have just checked my public records and seen that I wasn't that. But instead, you decided to do what you did, which makes what you did illegal as fuck. Oh, and just for the record.
Even worse, Cyraxx said the police told him he can't be held accountable for all this, since it all happened online and not in real life. Which means he indirectly admitted of all the allegations being true, and not just that, but in another moment, Cyraxx tried to say he is not a pedophile because he is not running around on the street hanging around with kids, which is a very weak argument to make.
If I was actually a pedophile, I would actually be out in the streets going after little fucking kids. But I'm not.
But this wasn't the only time Cyraxx got caught red-handed doing such things. In another moment, a screenshot of him flirting with this 15-year-old girl called Chloe surfaced online, and this time, he wasn't going to deny it. If anything, he added more evidence onto himself.
That Chloe chick that I was doing charity work for, me and her ended up together.
And then I found out today, and she did not tell me this until today, which I blocked her ass right away. She flat out told me.
Cyraxx. She sent screenshots where she said that she had to go to sleep early because she had to get ready for school in the morning.
Yeah, and see, during that time, I thought maybe she meant like night school or something like that. Okay, that's why I thought she was talking about that because, see, when you talk about charity, I usually think like, hey, adults, adults do charity work. Okay, cool. That's awesome, whatever. That's what I was thinking on. I honest to God thought she was an adult. She at no point in time until today.
Cyraxx, why would you ask? That's a pretty big red flag that you need. And I'm not even talking about Chloe. I was talking about Lily, the 12-year-old.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lily isn't 12 years old. That Chloe chick is named Lily. That's the chick that I'm talking about. She told me, and you can ask Marty because I know he saw it for himself. She indeed told me today that she was 15, and once she told me she was 15, I flat out told her, I can no longer speak to you, I'm blocking you, and I did indeed block.
After it became so clear that Cyraxx has some kind of creepy obsession with minors, he was desperate to shift the spotlight, and in true Cyraxx fashion, he chose the worst possible solution, teaming up with Chuck Stegall, a man who might be the only person online with a rabbit hole as deep, chaotic, and disturbing as his own.
What's up, man? Yo, guys, what's up? It's your boy, you already know who it is. Now, I have a special guest here with me that has a few words for you trolls, and some of you might know this dude. Masshole Reports. Now, you got anything you want to say to these people, bro? If you guys don't know who this is Chuck. The real Chuck. Right here.
The move was meant to be strategic. Cyraxx hoped to use Chuck as a weapon against Kate, one of the more prominent figures exposing him. The plan: discredit Kate by proving she just randomly targets people online, and use Chuck as a victim of her so-called harassment. But there was one small problem. Chuck wasn't some random guy.
In fact, Chuck and Cyraxx had history, and not good history either. Back in 2016, Cyraxx himself had publicly claimed that Chuck hacked his accounts and had been harassing him online. He made multiple posts about it, accusing Chuck of stalking, hacking, and causing chaos in his life. So the fact that Cyraxx turned around and joined forces with him years later just shows how desperate and directionless his crusade had become.
And Chuck? He brought his own storm of insanity to the table.
Among his long list of self-proclaimed identities, Chuck is claimed to be a vampire, while also proudly declaring himself a conservative Christian, a contradiction so hilarious it doesn't even need commentary. But it doesn't stop at delusions. Like Cyraxx, Chuck has also been accused of deeply disturbing behavior, including the same accusations that follow Cyraxx around to this day.
So, naturally, this alliance went exactly how you'd expect. Nowhere. Instead of strengthening Cyraxx's case, it sunk him even deeper.
When the Chuck Stegall alliance inevitably failed to scare off Marty or any of the other trolls, Cyraxx switched tactics. This time he leaned fully into delusion-fueled bravado, posting videos of himself, training, flexing, and claiming he was finally ready to fight Marty once and for all.
The internet had heard it all before.
Every time Marty made a trip to Akron, Ohio, Cyraxx would talk tough online, but when it came down to actually confronting him, he never left the basement. Instead, he'd send out Sally or Ed, like some weird, passive-aggressive guard dogs, while he hid behind the curtains upstairs. The man who called himself a warrior online couldn't even walk down the driveway.
But March 2023 would be different.
Marty had returned to Akron, once again renting out an Airbnb just minutes away. He went live, casually streaming the quiet streets, giving people the usual relaxed Akron check-in vibe. Meanwhile, Cyraxx was also live, doing his regular ranting and self-mythologizing when he suddenly paused mid-stream and said,
"One of my bandmates is in trouble. I gotta go."
And with that, he ended the stream, shut everything down, and left the house.
At first, nobody thought much of it. Cyraxx was known for coming up with weird excuses to end streams, usually lies to cover up a meltdown or avoid accountability, but this time, he actually left the house. And the reason? He was going to confront Marty in person.
For a moment, it looked like the showdown might actually happen.
But whatever cinematic fight scene Cyraxx had imagined in his head was instantly crushed by reality. The entire fight lasted less than 30 seconds. As soon as things got physical, Cyraxx was on the ground, flailing and yelling for Marty to stop.
Come on, bud.
I thought you went to the theater.
Come on. Come over. Why? Why would you leave me alone, boy? Why wouldn't you learn? Oh, yeah, love you. Get the out of here. You are? Then run away now. Shut the up. Fine. You win. You win. You win. Please let me go. I'm begging you. Please. Get out of here. Get up.
The street gangster image shattered. He didn't just lose, he begged for mercy, repeatedly calling Marty king in a humiliating plea for forgiveness.
The clip went viral almost instantly. For many people, it was the most satisfying moment in Cyraxx lore, watching years of empty threats and false bravado collapse in less than a minute. Some even believed this would finally mark the end of the Cyraxx Tough Guy act.
But it didn't.
Not even an hour later, Cyraxx was back on stream, acting like nothing happened. He claimed he held back, said Marty didn't know how to fight, and that he was still the man. As if there wasn't literal footage of him curled up on the sidewalk, calling his enemy king, like he was submitting to a warlord.
What, you surprised I'm still standing? Is that it? You surprised that I'm still alive? Well, sorry, Marty.
I'm surprised you're still talking.
Well, guess what? You didn't hurt me that bad, did you?
You just said I almost...
Sure, you may have busted up my nose, but I'm still standing. I'm still standing. And Marty, everybody knows this. Even your own people know that you went too far.
It's pretty clear that Marty has owned Cyraxx, and surprisingly, this time Cyraxx seems to understand that he is losing, and the videos he was making clearly depict that. Perhaps proving this, Cyraxx was making some creepy videos where he talks about how nobody can kill him since he is already dead. Very funny, and at the same time surprising to see him this sad.
There's one factor that you forgot. You can't kill what's already dead. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. You cannot kill what's already dead.
Besides this, Cyraxx seems to be considering getting off of the internet, especially the whole evidences of him talking to underage girls came out. Of course, the reason he claims are the trolls, but there is this one time where he mentioned losing his 17 years old friendship with his childhood friend because the trolls were making of him, and that's why he is getting off of the internet.
Here I am! Go ahead and laugh, this! Go ahead and laugh! Go ahead! Because after this stream, I'm not coming back! I'm not coming back after this! Here I am!
What makes this whole argument so weak is that why would anyone leave their close friend just because a bunch of people on the internet made fun of him? And when you add to the fact that Cyraxx mentioned they were friends for 17 years, it just doesn't make sense. But this was just a rant, and obviously he didn't disappear from the internet. In addition to his rages, around the year 2021, Cyraxx was being more racist than he ever was, and he started being caught using slur words to address his trolls in his own live streams. Very creepy.
William, you dumb goof. You need to get over it, eh? You need to get the over it. You need to leave me and my crew and my family and friends the alone, you bitch ass boy. I'm tired of your goddamn kid.
But that's not all. Cyraxx has a history of using blatantly homophobic slurs. Yet, in a bizarre twist, around October 30th, he began dating a trans woman named Trisha. Suddenly, the same guy who had spewed hate was posing as an LGBTQ ally, even calling people out for misgendering his girlfriend. Hypocrisy at its finest.
What's up, guys? I'm making this video for anybody out there that is clearly misgendering my girlfriend here, who is talking. And babe, you got anything you want to say? These assholes that keep calling you a dude.
I'm not a dude. Stop calling me a dude. I swear to God, I'll slit you for that. Stop calling me a dude. I am a guy. I am a bra.
That is true, guys. Like, y'all do need to knock off the whole misgender thing. I mean, literally, guys. Yes, she had the surgery as a kid. She even has said that to all of you. So, all you...
Besides being clearly offensive and also acting the tough guy around 2022, Cyraxx would back up and...
Aside from constantly running his mouth and pretending to be some street-tough warrior, Cyraxx eventually started switching gears. But not because he grew a conscience or learned a lesson. No, this was just another angle. Around 2022, after years of getting absolutely obliterated by trolls, he slowly pivoted into victim mode.
He didn't drop the tough guy act completely. He still had those random rage-filled streams, but now he was mixing it with teary-eyed rants about being bullied and harassed for no reason. And that's when the delusions really hit overdrive.
One day, a tragic shooting happened near his house. A 13-year-old lost their life, completely unrelated to Cyraxx. But what did Cyraxx do? He ran to the police, claiming the shot was actually meant for him, and that people from the internet came to kill him. It was pure insanity. Even the police brushed it off, straight up telling him this had nothing to do with him.
One of these people drove up.
Just stand there, Chance. Can you come inside?
Well, someone got shot in that car.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
This guy drove up 4 hours from where, Michigan?
Yeah. Or no, Massachusetts.
That's whatever.
Okay.
Just come and get in a fight with him up front.
Okay.
And we don't
Me and my boyfriend ran him off.
Okay.
I don't know if that is connected with this.
Yeah, it's completely unrelated. Young kid. Yeah, young kid.
Well, we don't
the shooting
know
started, huh?
We're not sure, though, because when he
you think someone shot?
We don't know, because when he pulled up, he had several cars with him.
Okay.
And we don't know if it could be one of them or what. We don't know.
Why is someone trying to go after you from Michigan?
For no reason, because
it's been harassment on the internet for a long time.
These people.
What's your name and what's your name?
But Cyraxx wasn't done spinning. Traumatized, or at least pretending to be, he made a dramatic announcement. He was quitting the internet forever and becoming a boxer. And yeah, if that sounds familiar, it's because he's made this exact kind of exit speech at least a dozen times. And not once did he actually disappear. In fact, he never even took a 24-hour break from posting.
Shortly after, he uploaded one of the most hilariously unhinged videos in his collection, an official message to the CEO of YouTube. In it, he begged for protection, demanded action against his trolls, and made it clear he truly believed YouTube executives sit around watching his channel like it's CNN.
So after this, I'm going to be talking to my stepdad and my mom, and I'm going to talk to him about getting me into boxing classes so that I can start doing boxing full time. Because I don't want this for myself or my family. A little boy may have died because of something that these people were trying to do to me. I don't know if it was aimed at me or not. And if you guys don't know what happened...
But here's the twist. While Cyraxx cries about being a victim, he also claims the trolls owe him money. Yeah, seriously. He says people like MusicBizMarty are making content off of his name, and that he deserves a cut. His logic, apparently being a walking disaster, is now a monetizable brand. According to Cyraxx, Marty alone owes him $2,000. Not for services rendered, just for existing and being trolled.
Just on Marty alone, I'm losing about $2,000. Like, I am literally losing money because these people are not paying me because they want to commit copyright infringement. Like, at the minimum, just for Marty alone, I'm losing out on about $2,000. That's not even counting the other bigger channels that are making money off of my content and off of me.
As a way to get revenge, Cyraxx started weaponizing the cops, calling the police over and over again on the very trolls who humiliated him. There was just one tiny problem. He didn't even know where they lived. So instead of reporting them to their local departments, Cyraxx just kept dialing up his own city's police, trying to explain internet beefs to confused Ohio officers who probably had better things to do, like literally anything else.
It's honestly sad how confident he was on those calls, thinking he was dropping some kind of tactical nuke when in reality, the trolls were sitting miles away, sipping soda and laughing while he screamed into the void. Meanwhile, they all had his address down to the street number, knew what his porch looked like, and could probably draw a blueprint of his entire basement from memory.
Around this same time, Cyraxx got himself caught in yet another creepy scandal, and this one's just straight up disgusting. While live streaming and ranting about Heather, he somehow forgot he was live, and then started touching himself right there on camera.
4 full minutes went by, 4 painfully awkward, deeply unsettling minutes, before Cyraxx finally realized he was still broadcasting to the world. And what did he do next? Take accountability? Apologize? Of course not. He immediately flipped the narrative to blame Marty for the whole thing, even though Marty wasn't even there.
Despite the absolute horror show in that stream, it didn't even take a few days for Cyraxx to crawl back online, back to his usual screaming, ranting, and blaming everyone but himself. And as if his meltdowns weren't embarrassing enough already, one stream ended with him literally himself on camera while raging about the trolls. No, seriously, mid-scream, full mess. You can't make this up.
If I wanted to, I could delete this channel tomorrow and start a brand new channel. And within 2 months, hell, maybe even a few weeks, I can make a whole new channel and have well over 1,000 subs within minutes. And I've proven that I can do that. And I have done it. Oh shit, y'all guys are storming out. Gotta go. Love you guys.
Months flew by with the usual back and forth between Cyraxx and the trolls, but on March the 29th, 2023, Marty dropped one of the hottest pieces of tea in the entire Cyraxx saga.
According to Marty, Jake, a shady friend of Cyraxx's stepfather Ed, might have had a very questionable relationship with Cyraxx, and this wasn't some random outsider either. Jake's name had already popped up in Cyraxx's orbit years ago. Back in 2018, Cyraxx made a video clowning Jake for being a poser in the Akron street racing scene. The drama? Jake claimed his busted 1995 Dodge Ram could smoke Ed's 2013 Ford F-150. Cyraxx, of course, went full cringe mode and mocked him like he was the next Vin Diesel, even though he's never actually driven a real car in his life, just raged on Need for Speed from his basement.
Yo, this guy. One thing about this crazy... Yeah, and that's why you never want to do fucking drive. Holy...
What happens when you're on a V8?
This guy. Fair warning to anybody out there that wants to do a ride along with this guy, don't ever do this shit. Swear to God, one of these days this is gonna kill me, y'all. If I die,
we both be dying too. You know that.
If I die, my girlfriend gets my channel. Actually, no, my brother Sean gets my channel. If I die, my girlfriend Julia, she gets everything else I own.
Which ain't much.
Oh. But the real crack came when Marty threatened to dox Jake unless Cyraxx danced on camera. Cyraxx refused, and Marty made good on his promise. Jake's full address and number went public.
And that's when things got weird. Marty alleged that Jake had been buying Cyraxx stuff in exchange for... Yeah, that's the claim. And as wild as that sounds, it kinda lined up with the timeline. Cyraxx suddenly showing off toys and random crap while still claiming he had no job. It didn't take long before people started wondering, is Cyraxx working for Jake in exchange for favors?
Even worse, Jake's not clean either. He has pending criminal charges, including some extremely disturbing accusations, stuff that mirrors the kind of filth Cyraxx has already been linked to.
I gotta throw this out there.
Like, I know there's like a lot of trolling that goes on. I know that like there's jokes and there's bait. But I've got like a police report, so everyone who's like skeptical or dubious, hold your doubts. Prepare to be disgusted. Prepare to be disgusted. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it's gross. I think the best bet is just dive right into the police report, right? To give like a full sense of actually going on here right now. Yeah, that's the best bet. That's the best bet. You'll see an Akron Police Department incident report involving one Jake Baroni, who we all of 70. Oh my lord, dude, yeah, you should be scared. You have every right to be scared. We all know that as Security Jake. Shout out to William Glory Hole once again. Lordy. That's right, RG. That's right, man. Investigation pending. Yeah, linked to suspect's sibling. That's not dark at all, right? You know what? I'll do it moment by moment. Offense number 1: rape. Suspect assaulted. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. Offense number 1: rape. Jake's brother. And here's the up thing here too. So put this in your pipe and smoke it. Jake always refers to, and let me throw this out there as well. Well, I guess the report will yield it, but how do I say this? Okay, I will say that Jake and Cyraxx do have a brotherly relationship, but currently Jake has regained his power, and now he's the hammer, and Cyraxx is the nail, and he's keeping him quiet by buying him toys, presumably, which is the same thing that happened with Jake as a younger man. And I don't want to portray Jake as a victim. He was, but by buying toys to shut up about getting boned in the ass, I don't know if he's somebody that we should necessarily feel sorry for him for, you know? Yeah, but that's my take on this, and I'm sorry for the delay.
And when Marty tried to call in some plumbers to Jake's place just to see how he'd react, Jake didn't let them in. Instead, he blew up at them, which only added more fuel to the fire that something shady is going down inside that house.
Cyraxx himself even said it out loud on stream. If I was still hanging out with Jake, I'd be 10 times worse than I am now, which is honestly terrifying considering how bad he already is.
As if all this wasn't already deranged enough, Cyraxx managed to land himself in yet another controversy, this time stepping off screen and straight into real-life trouble.
On June 25th, some random dude, likely one of Gyrax's countless trolls, showed up near Sally's house, holding a sign in protest of Cyrax's antics. The guy wasn't even trespassing. He was just standing there peacefully on the sidewalk, exercising his right to call out a lolcow IRL. But Cyraxx? He wasn't having it. Bursting out of the house like a rabid chihuahua, he came charging at the guy, swinging a baseball bat.
Of course, in classic Cyraxx fashion, he got absolutely bodied in a matter of seconds, turning the supposed fight into yet another iconic meme moment in his endless saga of humiliation.
But here's the kicker. Later that same night, the cops rolled up to Sally's place and cuffed Cyraxx. And what followed was absolute comedy gold. Cyraxx completely lost it, shrieking and whining like a terrified toddler getting dragged to bed.
That's it. Let it all out. Let it all out, Cyraxx.
I want to know why you did this to me.
Because you're a child predator.
Okay.
That's okay.
21. Good, good. Hey, Chance, we're gonna have you turn around, put your hands behind your back for me.
Why?
Okay? What's that?
Why?
Because you're under arrest.
Why? Listen, can I talk to you guys for a minute?
Relax. Relax.
What?
Stop, Chance.
What?
Relax.
Calm down.
Mom, please,
Relax.
please.
Stop. Calm down.
I'm scared.
I know you are.
Mom, please. Please.
Don't scream. Chance. Chance. He's taken care of.
I'm scared.
What is he being arrested for?
Why? They were on our... Can I show you something?
We've been told that we can protect ourselves here.
Yes. Sir, can I please just go? I swear to God. Sir, sir, can I please? Sir, can I please, can I ask you something?
We've been asking you guys for help for a long time.
I understand. I've been out here dozens and dozens of times.
Sir, can I please, can I make a deal with you, please, sir?
We can't make deals, Chance.
You got shoes, Chance?
Mom, please.
Chance.
I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. Listen,
Chance.
I protected myself.
Chance.
You don't understand.
I understand, Chance.
No, you don't.
Chance, come on.
No, you don't.
Take him with you. Okay.
Listen.
Tell him to get the out of here.
Turn.
We'll tell him. Chance, turn around.
Turn.
Sir, I have been trying to...
Turn.
I have been trying to... Ed, help me. Ed. Ed. Ed.
Come on now.
They're going to lock me up if I help you.
Ed. No. Why? Can I please talk to you?
It was peak Cyraxx drama, captured in glorious 4K.
Even funnier, when the police went around interviewing neighbors to gather evidence, every single one of them threw Cyraxx under the bus, clearly fed up with his non-stop antics. They all confirmed exactly what we already knew. Cyraxx was the aggressor, the one who ran out swinging first.
How many were there?
He was writing on his paper.
Uh-huh.
And we know Chance. We've known Chance. We've lived here for 13 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were kind of wondering, what he was doing. And when he showed us this sign, we said, oh, yeah, we realized we know about Chance. So my husband was doing some yard work and stuff. And so I kind of started watching what was going on. And I observed Chance come out of his house with the bat. And he was on the sidewalk. He did not approach the yard or come onto their property at all. Chance came out, ran out, and swung and hit him with the bat.
Yeah.
Despite all that, Cyraxx didn't sit in a cell for long, thanks once again to Sally. He was bonded out the very next day, ready to jump straight back into his usual dumpster fire of a life.
Hello. I'm calling with the information you requested from the Ohio Statewide Victim Information and Notification Service. Please listen carefully to this message. You are registered with us to receive updates about an offender whose name is Chance Wilkins, with offender ID 148939. This offender was released on June 26, 2023 for the following reason: bonded out. If you have any concerns about your immediate safety, contact your local law enforcement agency, or, if you have an emergency, call 911. For more information, contact Summit County Sheriff's Office. The telephone number is 330-643-2181. That number again, 330-643-2181. Vine information is also available at www.vinelink.com. This automated notification is sponsored by the Ohio Statewide Victim Information and Notification Service. It is our hope that this information has been helpful to you.
But if you thought Cyraxx's clown shows was finally slowing down, you'd underestimate just how bottomless this rabbit hole goes. By late May 2024, Cyraxx, already knee-deep in controversy, after months of embarrassing livestream meltdowns and scandals too chaotic to even touch, somehow found himself invited onto the infamous lolcow live podcast. Before the episode even aired, Cyraxx, true to his nature, launched into a livestream rant against one of the hosts, Tommy C., signaling clearly that this was about to be another train wreck.
When the podcast dropped on June 2nd, it was pure gold, for everyone except Cyraxx. He began by awkwardly fanboying over Wings of Redemption and Boogie 2988, but it didn't take long for things to spiral. As soon as Tommy C asked even slightly challenging questions, Cyraxx erupted into a full-on tantrum, hurling insults at everyone, rage-quitting multiple times, and ultimately leaving viewers with another legendary clip in the Cyraxx Hall of Shame.
But as you probably figured out by now, these humiliations only scratch the surface. In January 2025, Cyraxx once again reminded everyone why he's the internet's most enduring laughingstock. Midway through another karaoke livestream, he abruptly left the frame, forgetting that viewers could still hear everything. Turns out Cyraxx literally couldn't hold his and yes, the audio captured every moment.
What's going on? Oh, God. All over the place.
It wasn't the first time he had an embarrassing accident on stream, but this one was especially humiliating because thousands heard it live.
Just as this incident seemed to fade into the endless loop of Cyraxx controversies, late January to early February brought shocking news. Cyraxx's arch nemesis, MusicBizMarty, was reportedly dead. The community was shaken, tributes poured out, and even his critics showed respect. But Cyraxx? Of course, he couldn't resist making it about himself. He accused Marty of faking his death to dodge an absurd $10 million just in unpaid back taxes. A claim spoon-fed to him by another known troll, CIA hole. Classic Cyraxx, always managing to sink lower.
Yet, unbelievably, he somehow found an even deeper low to plunge into. On March 11th, 2025, TikTok star Tofia Slidell's family suffered a horrific carjacking tragedy, resulting in the death of her brother Donald. Any normal person would show sympathy, but Cyraxx saw it as yet another chance to victim play, quickly streaming multiple times to blame the tragedy on online trolls. He dramatically announced another indefinite hiatus from the internet, one nobody believed given his habit of daily attention-seeking streams. He even launched a change.org petition to criminalize trolling, which, predictably, was immediately hijacked by the very trolls he was attacking.
But as the cycle of backlash and controversy rolled on, June 20th, 2025 brought another explosive moment. During yet another late-night karaoke session at around 3 a.m., Cyraxx completely disregarded Sally's pleas for quiet, triggering a heated confrontation with Ed.
Hang on, 1 second. What?
Put it down! You wouldn't answer me.
You can't just call my phone.
No, I can't. No, I can't. It doesn't work that way.
How does it not work? I got that now.
Well, I don't have it.
You know you can call from your regular phone.
Oh,
Come on, you can use your regular phone to call me off that now.
you've never told me that.
Yeah. I thought
And you would hear it on your phone anyway. You got, I think, it's loud in your ears. Turn it down.
I kind of have to have it up for what I'm doing. I don't really have a choice.
Yeah, you do have a choice.
No, I don't. Not until I get a new setup, I don't.
Keep it down.
I do give a respect. Whatever. I do give a
Just stop it right now.
Hey! That's what you get, ass.
Get upstairs!
That's what you get. Knock it off. Now.
Get upstairs!
Go ahead, swing on me.
Get upstairs!
Go ahead, I'll knock you out. Swing on me, I'll knock you
You
out.
want me to call cops right now?
They ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, they will.
Like what? Go ahead. Do it.
Can't get upstairs! No!
You need to knock your shit. Violence ain't the answer. Now knock it off.
You're not gonna get hurt no more. Stop it! Stop it!
Yes.
Stop it!
Do that
What did you
again.
just break? What did you just break?
Nothing. He threw something at me.
Well, don't worry.
Go ahead. I have a right to fight back, you piece of shit. Knock it off with the violence, you f***ing ass. Violence ain't the answer. You too, boy.
Get
Shouting, threats, thrown objects. It was absolute chaos. Poor Sally, once again forced to play referee between a grown adult throwing a tantrum and a fed-up stepfather.
Clearly, Cyraxx's self-inflicted circus shows no signs of slowing down, and it's impossible to cover every embarrassment, meltdown, and controversy he manages to create. But one thing's for sure, just when you think he's hit rock bottom, Cyraxx finds a new way to plunge deeper.
As long as the internet keeps watching, you can bet Cyraxx will keep spiraling. Forever chasing attention, forever fleeing accountability, and forever trapped in the chaotic loop he's created for himself.